Welcome to the Sit Down with Suzanne podcast. This is your girl, Suzanne. I am that motivational speaker, that minister, that author, that life coach who's not afraid to wear a gown and a crown, who's not afraid to laugh out loud, definitely not afraid to make mistakes, and I am not afraid to teach as I grow. So, welcome to the very first episode of season 3 of the Sit Down with Suzanne podcast, where every episode is created with you in mind. So, if you are listening, it's not a mistake that you're here. This episode is for you. Each episode is crafted with the goal of empowering you to be the best version of yourself. The intent is for you to realize that your only competition is yourself and that no one else can determine your self-worth. So join me on this journey through season 3, where I promise you there'll be laughter, there'll be tears, there'll be aha moments, there will be accountability, but most of all, there will be growth. So I am very excited about season 3. And I know I say that a lot, but I try to do things that I'm really excited about. And if I'm not excited about something, I examine it and why I'm doing it. The title of this episode is called The Day My Closet Broke. And I remember saying this to someone. I'm like, what do you mean? And I said, well, you have to listen to season 3. And I'm like, well, when is season 3 coming out? Because I really want to catch season 3. So the day my closet broke. And then here is why this episode is titled The Day My Closet Broke. A little backstory about season 3, though. After the break, after I ended season 2, I had the great honor of going to She Podcast Live in Arizona, and I went as a speaker, y'all. I was very excited. I remember my first year attending, and I said I was going back as a speaker. And then 2020 happened. It was canceled. In 2021, I was so honored when Jess and Elsie and their committee, I was chosen as a speaker and had such a great time there. So I will definitely be doing an episode where I talk about my She Podcast experience. But my plan was after the conference to come back and start season 3. And I was very gung-ho about it. But life happens, and there was so much demands on my time and then other commitments that it forced me to push back the start date. And then, I finally set it on a date in December, and I'm like, this is the drop dead date. This is when I'm going to do it. And a couple of different things just demanded my time, and I could not get out of those commitments, and I had to push it. And, I work in retail, as a lot of you know, I'm a retail leader, and working in retail was especially tough this year. I felt the days were longer, the nights were shorter. I definitely felt like people were more impatient. I felt that the pandemic was ramping up instead of slowing down. I thought that we would be done with COVID by the end of the year, or, it just seemed to be going. So finding time to slow down was impossible, and it was just getting challenging. I shouldn't say impossible. It was very, very challenging. And, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a minister. There were other things that I was doing. So honestly, finding time to podcast was very, very challenging. And I love podcasting. I didn't want podcasting to become a chore. I didn't want it something for me to get through. And I definitely think that you guys would have picked up on that in my voice. So I had to keep pushing it. But I'm excited because now I'm ready, and season 3 is on the way. And you hear me now. I'm recording the very first episode. I did the trailer. I gave you guys a little hint of what's upcoming for season 3. So I am in it to win it. And this is season 3, y'all. So the day my closet broke, and I know I'm going to repeat that title till y'all get it. So I was home one day, right? And I heard a crash, and it was like a very loud crash. And upon inspection, my closet broke. My closet is pretty full. I mean, for those of you who follow me on social media, positivelysuzanne.com, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on TikTok, I'm working on it. And I'm also on YouTube. You can follow me under those mediums, and, that's where you'll see my information. But you can see that I am a lover of gowns and crowns, and I love clothes, right? So my closet is pretty full, and it came crashing down one day. And my husband said to me that he was going to fix it. Thank you, Paul. It's great to have a husband who actually fixes things, right? Because I couldn't fix it. I mean, I could if I wanted to, but like woman power, rah, rah, hear me roar and all that. But anyway, but he said to me that I needed to get rid of some stuff. And, I was like, well, I don't really need to get rid of anything. My closet is pretty organized. I mean, there are things that I don't really need, if I have to be honest. And Paul, if you're listening, just fast forward through this part. But my closet is pretty well organized. I mean, I have some stuff that I don't really use, but it's pretty organized. I have light stuff, I have heavy stuff, I have winter stuff, I have summer stuff. I definitely have gowns, and most of my gowns are not even in my closet. Like the heavier gowns are not in it. I mean, I have clothes that I bought that I haven't worn yet. I have clothes that I haven't worn in years, but I'm going to wear it again. This is what I'm telling myself. So bottom line is I have a lot of clothes, right? I actually have the dress in my closet that I wore to my dad's funeral. My dad passed away in 2018. It's this beautiful black and white designer gown that I cannot look at without tearing up. And it was very expensive. It's actually one of the most expensive piece of garment that I own. Anyway, so I have all these things in my closet, and I went through the closet after my husband said to get rid of some stuff, and I organized them. And truthfully, I think I probably took out one thing, like one item, like, okay, let's put this away. But then my husband, he went to the hardware store, he bought the thing, he came home and he reinforced and I have a pretty good sized closet, and he reinforced it. But I basically put everything back. Guess what happened? A day later, my closet broke again. And that's when I realized that no matter how much I reorganized the closet and made it pretty, the bottom line is I had too much stuff. And I was going through so much in 2021 because, some folks had disappointed me, and I was letting go of some people. I was learning how to deal with folks the way they are, and not to allow their behaviors to change who I am fundamentally. Fundamentally, I'm a child of God. Fundamentally, I'm a kind person, and I am a lover of people. So if you listen to one of the previous episodes where I talked about I have never met a stranger, I really enjoy hanging out with people and just connecting with people. So I had to let go of a couple of people because I realized that they just were not good people. Anyway, so I realized, like I said, that my closet break-in was a metaphor for everything that I was going through. See? My closet broke. And then I started to think, how can I use this to help someone? And this is how this episode was birthed. So it was birthed a long time ago. I jotted something down like, okay, Suzanne, this is going to be the very first episode of season 3. And, I put it in the back of my mind, had no idea when season 3 was going to start, but I knew that I was going to be talking about this episode. All right. Listen, to say 2020 was unique is an understatement. We were going through a global pandemic. We were going through racial reckoning, just to name a few things, right? And then 2021, listen, I thought it was going to be not a magic bullet, but something that's going to erase most of 2020, right? Didn't happen. I thought it would be a little better, and it was, but, we were still in it. We were still in a pandemic. Yeah, we were back out there. We were eating out in restaurants again. We were traveling. I mean, we did vacations. I was speaking at conferences. I was flying on planes. I was meeting new people, but 2021 wasn't what I thought it would be. I definitely lost some people. I felt that I said, may they rest in peace. May their soul rest in peace. So much. I felt like it was like a phrase that I uttered over and over again. I had some health things of my own. There was a few other things that I had to deal with personally and professionally. So there was a lot going on in 2021, and I also had clients that were dealing with a lot, and being there for them and ensuring that, they are moving forward and that they are growing and that they are changing and evolving was very important to me, because I really do believe that everybody deserves to have a good life, a great life, right? But I was thinking about my closet, and I was thinking about this, I just kept stuffing things back in, everything in it. I was holding on to all these clothes that no longer fit me, all these clothes that, I was never, ever going to wear again, right? And I thought this is what we do in real life, right? We keep stuffing things in. And I don't know who I'm talking to here, but I know this is going to somebody, right? We keep stuffing things in. We keep holding on to things. Personally, I was holding on to things that no longer served me, and not just the clothes. In my life, I was holding on to things that no longer served me because I was comfortable doing it. It was routine. It was something that I had done for a long time. And, all these things was pushing me towards a breaking point that I didn't realize. And when my closet broke, I realized that I am that closet. And if I didn't get rid of some stuff, I was going to break. And if you know me, I feel like I'm pretty good to get together. I got my thing, I got things going on, but I'm pretty together. I am a motivational speaker. I can encourage someone, but I do also take a lot on. I've had mistakes in the past. I've had failures in the past. I've had disappointments. And, after my closet broke, I'm like, okay, Suzanne, let it go. You've spoken off, let it go. And I think you have let it go, but have you really let it go? So let go of my past mistakes. And this is what I'm telling you. Let go of your past mistakes. Let go of your past failures. Let go of your past disappointments. I had some loss. I had to let that go. I had to grieve. I had to mourn, but I had to let it go. And like the clothes that no longer fit me, and frankly, the clothes that were no longer my style, because truth be told, we all have some style that we are not going back to. All right. Whether it's our bodies that has changed, or who we are as human beings have changed, we're not going back to it, but we are holding on to it for sentimental reasons. I had to let it go. I realized that I had to do real work if I wanted to see these changes. If I wanted these changes to be sustainable, I had to do some real work. I had to say no to going to places that I didn't want to go to. And I thought I was pretty good at it. But then I realized there were some things I was just, it was just easy. Like, yeah, it's fine. Let's just do it. Hanging out with people who are just time wasters. And I really started appreciating my time more and said, like, you're around people who are truly just enjoy talking about others and just have nothing positive to say. Why am I spending time, precious, the one commodity that you could never, ever get back, right? Spending time with folks that are wasting my time. So I had to take a long, hard look at what I was doing and ask myself, do I really want this? Why? Why am I doing this? In all my years as a leader, when I tell people something, when I tell my people something, I always try to tell them the why. Why are we doing this? Don't just do this because we're doing this. Why are we doing this? So it's something that I said to myself, why am I doing this? And if I can't come up with a reason why, then do I need to be doing this? Remember Marie Kondo? She had this thing on Netflix. I don't even know if she still has it, where, the joy thing, if she was teaching you how to do these things, and if something doesn't give you joy, you're supposed to throw it away. Maybe I need to do that to my closet. But anyway, so I was asking myself why. And while I've never been shy about stating what I want or compartmentalizing things and just putting people in categories and things, but I'm still human. And sometimes I realize that we just get so used to doing stuff, that we get so used to things being a certain way that it's just routine to us. Like, we don't even really think about it. We just do it. And then when we stop to examine it, like, why am I doing this? And I teach about this, but yet still I was just doing some things that honestly was no longer serving me. And it wasn't that it was hurting me per se. It was just no longer serving me. So when my closet broke, I thought about, okay, let's straighten this up. Let's make this pretty. Let's put it back together. And my husband reinforced it and then put everything basically back. And then it broke again. So here's how I'm going to use this to help you. What are you holding on to? Because we're human beings, and no matter how strong we all have a breaking point, right? So we are holding on to so much. We're holding on to loss, heartache, betrayal. We're holding on to jobs and people and things, and we're piling it on and piling it on and piling it on. And we say we forgive because somebody does something to us and you forgive them and you move on, but it's still in there. And we have a great loss and we mourn, but it's still in there because we're busy and we don't have time to deal with it. And we make the pretty, which is, yeah, I forgive you. And, we do all of these things, but we're still encumbered by all this stuff. And we're just putting on more stuff, and we're putting on work and friendship and relationships and just everything else we're piling on, and grief and betrayal and loss and disappointments and failures and mistakes. And we're putting all this on us. And what's going to happen? One day we are going to break, just like my closet broke. One day, if we don't stop and take some things out, and not just the pretty, just making it pretty and putting it the same thing back together, we've got to stop. We've got to feel all the feels. We've got to let it all out. We have to truly let go of the disappointments. It happened. We have to let go of the mistakes. It happened. We're human beings. We have to let go of the betrayals. Their behavior is not your behavior. They betrayed you not because of who you are, but because of who they are. It's okay. Wusa, let it go. Loss is brutal, and depending on who that person is, it's going to touch you in a different way. Deal with it. Feel all the feels, cry, mourn, and it will get easier. 2018, I'm still feeling the loss, but it will get easier. And little by little, you just realize that you're lighter, that your load is getting lighter, and it's easier for you to carry because you're not holding on to all that stuff. You can actually let things go. If it's no longer serving us, let it go. If it is hurting us, let it go. You don't want to break. Don't hold on to those old things. So here's how you're going to help yourself. So I hope you have a pen and paper handy, because if you remember from my past episodes in season 2, there was a couple of episodes that I talked about grabbing a pen and a paper, right? So this season is going to be about growth. And as I grow, I want you to go right along with me. Grab a pen and paper, and I'm only going to give you 3 things. I want you to make a list of the things that you do the most. Make a list of the things that you do the most. All right. So write that down. Don't make the list right now. I want you to do this after the podcast. So number 1, you're going to make a list of the things that you do the most. Number 2, you're going to make a list of the people that you spend the most time with. Okay. So number 1 and number 2, make a list of the things you do the most. Make a list of the people that you spend time with the most. And the third one, I am going to give it to you last. So when you think of number 1, I want you to make a list of the things you do the most. And I want you to ask yourself this very important question that I asked myself. Why? Why do you do it? I mean, is it serving you? What is the benefit to you? What is the benefit to anybody else? Are you doing it just because it's routine, because you're used to doing it, because you're told you're supposed to do it? Who does this benefit? So why? And if you could eliminate some of those things. Number 2, when you make that list of the people that you spend the most time with, I am going to ask you to be selfish for a minute. you're going to ask yourself, when you spend time with these people, how do you feel afterwards? Because when you spend time with people, you're supposed to take pleasure in their company. And if after hanging out with somebody, you're more depressed, you're angry, you're upset, you feel bad about yourself, you question your self-worth, that's not good. So ask yourself, like, what do I get out of this? What do they get out of this? And you need to do that, because somebody else could be listening to this and making a list and saying, wait a minute, I spent time with this person and I don't leave this interaction any better. I actually feel worse. And the number 3 thing is eliminate what you must. So think of yourself as the closet here. If you don't want to break, you must eliminate these things. So when you make a list of the things that you do the most, you are going to eliminate the things that you literally cannot find any reason why. Why do I do this? Why do I still do this? I don't know. There's no reason for me to do this. This is not benefiting me. This is not benefiting anyone. Stop doing it. When you make a list of the people that you spend the most time with, what do you get out of it? What do they get out of it? Do you bring you any joy? Does it bring you any pleasure? Eliminate if you must. You do not want to break. I told you all that is going to be, there is going to be growth for this season. Listen to me. In order for us to grow, we're going to go through some uncomfortable things. And sometimes the people that we spend the most time with are not the most, how can I put this delicately? They're toxic. That wasn't delicate, but it is what it is. Sometimes we spend a lot of time with toxic people, and their toxicity is seeping into us. So we need to move on. We need to get away. We cannot allow their toxic behavior to change us. We need to try to infuse them with the positivity. But if you can't get through to them and make them positive, you need to be selfish and take a step back and pray for them, but you got to step back. So this is what I'm telling you. Move on. I learned this. I did this. And I am telling you, I am so much lighter. So much lighter after doing this. So even if you think, listen, I got it all the way together, everything I do has a purpose, write it down. When you write it down, you'll see something different. I did it and it helped. So I'm going to just encourage you guys to do this. And I definitely want to hear your feedback. So after you have done this, shoot me an email at Suzanne@positivelysuzanne.com. I promise you I will get back to you in a few days. So absolutely shoot me an email. That's it, guys. That is the very first episode of season 3 of the Sit Down with Suzanne podcast. Yes. And it was titled The Day My Closet Broke. So how can I listen to the Sit Down with Suzanne podcast? The Sit Down with Suzanne podcast is available on many, many platforms. So you have Amazon Music, you have Apple, you have Spotify, you have Pandora, you have iHeart. I'm actually on the Facebook podcasting platform right now. There's just so many different things. Just type it in, it will come up. You'll have it. You can get it on the Suzanne Positively Suzanne website, which is www.positivelysuzanne.com. You could listen to it there. I'm on the Buzzsprout site. So there's a many way to get to the Sit Down with Suzanne podcast. Also, I am on the Buy Me a Coffee. So I've continued that from last year. So you can just right at the bottom of the page, you'll see the information how to buy me a coffee. So I don't drink coffee. As y'all know, I'm a tea drinker. So it says buy me a coffee. Again, I'm going to work on that. Maybe they'll create a buy me a tea thing, but for right now, it's buy me a coffee. So show some love to your girl. And I will promise you that each time I record a podcast, I will be sipping tea, and you bought that for me. So As always, I really want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for joining. I'm going to ask that you subscribe to the Sit Down with Suzanne podcast. However you listen to your podcast, please subscribe. Please shoot me an email. Please connect with me on social media. This episode is for you. It's about me, but it's for you. And every episode is really for you. It's about your growth, your development. And as I'm growing, you're growing with me. So thank you for listening. And until next time, this is Suzanne signing off.